Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is third.
Okay, Coach, coming to you from the venue that hosted the Super Bowl back in February of '06. Welcome to Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Tonight we kick off Week 7 with a great Thursday night matchup here between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now the former Terrapin, this is Ty Johnson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Blue 60. Double tight, guys, double tight. Look at him. 52's the mic. Check, 52's the mic.
On second down now, it's Johnson, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Now Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 41-yard line.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. To throw again. Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daquan Jones fighting his way home to get the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Stafford. Jones has it. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
And that hits the crossbar and comes back no good. And by just a couple of inches, this remains a scoreless game. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
Now Rodgers. He'll get this off to Jamal Williams. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes us 2nd and 9. Rodgers now to throw. And that's complete to Jesse James. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. To throw is Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And again, it's Rodgers. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there.
Tight ends on the Lucy. Tight ends on the Lucy. Tight ends.
On 2nd down, it's Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's spilling them in the offensive backfield.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Here's Rodgers. Going to throw again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you're doing a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. First time that they called his number tonight, and it gets him a 1st down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Switch. Pilot, 64, weak.
On 1st down, Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. The numbers for Adams in last week's game. He was pretty prophetic. He said before that game, I want to get in the end zone often. He got there 3 times.
Yeah, it's one thing to catch a lot of footballs. That is important, but it's what you do after the catch that can make you great. And he had a great game last week.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Rodgers. And he slings one that's incomplete. Geronimo Allison the target there, and that'll make it 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Rodgers to throw once more. He's got Adams on the hookup. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 33. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys? Coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night, guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
The Packers with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Rodgers now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a 1st down here. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. James has got it. Complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Rodgers again now. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback. No matter the situation in there, the defense won the battle. Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And Adams has it complete. And he has the 1st down before he's tackled at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Shotgun now for Rodgers. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his big tight end there, Jesse James. But it'll be 2nd and goal. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
2nd down and goal. Rodgers, touchdown, Packers. Jesse James, his 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys are on the board first here tonight. Bouncing back nicely from that bad opening drive where he threw the interception. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field and into the end zone.
So obviously his confidence was never lost, and that's a good thing to see. Great quality to have, and you absolutely must maintain that as a quarterback. But I have to think that they're probably still on the script that they prepared for this game. Just the 2nd drive. They've worked on these plays all week in practice. Put them to good use on that one.
And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a 1st down. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now it's Stafford. It's caught by Crabtree. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. I always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 36, Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Montravius Adams. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. A shotgun snap for Stafford. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 32-yard line.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. They'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Crabtree has it. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And it's caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They'll try to run this one in. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Back to throw. Stafford. And he has his receiver. That's Jones. Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Well, there was a little extra pressure with that one because it was 3rd down. He didn't care. He snagged it with one hand like it was routine.
The key is to make a play in a tough situation. Doesn't matter how, and in this case, one-handed gets it done. Terrific play for us to watch.
This is taken at the 3.
Well, that return gives them a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now a throw left sideline here is complete. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They try and run on first down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed a big hit for a loss. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Stafford now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. Stafford into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Josh Jackson. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Crabtree the target on that one. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. A final shot before half for Rodgers. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half.
And now look at him go. The 30, 10, touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams, 77 yards. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. The 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. From one end zone to the other, 101 yards. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, and if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
Davante Adams in the Packer offense heading back out. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Throwing now is Rodgers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's James. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
27 yards there, a 1st down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
2nd and 5 now. Rodgers, his throw incomplete.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Here's Rodgers. And he comes back with one complete. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. With that catch, he goes over 100 yards receiving on the night. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one can...
And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Jesse James with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
And Detroit getting set to go now. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun, here's Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. And the Packers pick it up. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them. Big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Rodgers now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a first down. When we see another great performance like this out of Aaron Rodgers, you have to chuckle thinking that his only FBS offer was a walk-on at Illinois.
And now he's the pride of Butte Junior College, of course at Cal. And I remember watching him play at Cal, and he would run 7-on-7 drills. Angry if the ball ever hit the ground, and he didn't do it very often.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Throwing again. Rodgers. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. Adams hauling it in from Rodgers. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 13 yards, first down, Packers. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he has got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover?
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Trey Flowers has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football.
And the pressure gets to him again. Patrick Owasor in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Now it's Rodgers. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
And his kick is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it now because you're exactly right.
Don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Stafford now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. So the false start will back them up 5.
False start, offense.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing there, no gain, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 15. 3rd and long, it's Stafford. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Number 12 back out there. Aaron and his Packer teammates set to begin their drive. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the 3rd. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Devon Kennard. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Rodgers. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now at Ford Field. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter. The Packers on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. Throwing is Rodgers. He's got Adams on the hookup. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
They're enjoying a 4th quarter advantage.
Check it out. X3. 283.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 40.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Rodgers now on 1st down. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. to throw again. Stafford got it complete to Crabtree. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Michael Crabtree, the intended receiver, but it'll be second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. From the 50 at Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. Pass left, and now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Galladay, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are back within a single score. So that's a really big play here in the 4th quarter, and don't look now, they're right back in this game.
Did it feel to you, as it did to me, that maybe they were a little bit soft in what they were lining up with on defense? Almost like they were protecting the lead rather than trying to make a play.
And now that lead is down to just 1 score. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go!
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, 1-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping Chili on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. Because if there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again. Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Looking to throw again on second down. Rodgers, Kyler Fackrell, able to record his 5th sack of the season.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Preston Smith comes in for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
Stafford delivers this to Hockenson, and brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. They're going draw play. Stafford to Johnson. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. They go to Johnson again. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you get success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 30. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Stafford throwing on target to Jones. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Stafford barking out signals and trying to get his guys set quickly. Now pass complete there to Crabtree, and they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. He's back to throw. And that's going to be caught. Touchdown. And they've broken our tie here in the final minute. Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something...
And now the kick is blocked. Oh, the Packers have it. He's got daylight. He's at the 50, 30, 20, 10, 5, and all the way into the end zone, and that's 2 points.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
All day, dog. Inside.
Rodgers throwing here. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Davante Adams, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up third down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
So Matthew Stafford in the offense. Down by 2. 36 seconds remaining. Now their losing streak in danger of continuing as they come up on first down. Stafford. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
That's it. That's it. Big hit.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Back to throw. He gets this one to Johnson. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Now it's Stafford. It finds Crabtree for the completion. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Underneath for Johnson. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. So second and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Back to throw. He'll get this one to Golladay. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. And Charles, in this one, the fourth quarter became a lot more interesting, I know, than I anticipated. Probably you anticipated. A comeback bid falling just a little bit short.
You're never supposed to count a team out, and I know we didn't on air, but mentally, I just didn't see this type of a comeback, especially one that put them in a position to put the real pressure on them down the stretch.